What's up, you guys? Welcome to an all-new episode of SCNS Live, the Super Cool Nerd Show. Thank you for joining us out there in the Super Cool Nerd Nation for another hour of news, nerds, some upcoming cons, changes to our game streaming stuff. Anyway, I don't do this show by myself. Wait a minute. I gotta do that. Reverse that. I'm Jason the X, but I don't do this show by myself. To my left is my buddy Kat.
Hi.
Over there.
What are you looking for?
Your Switch, that's what. My fellow Zelda Tears of the Kingdom sister over here.
Oh, if you're giving me permission to play,
no, I'm absolutely not. Not unless I am. Please put it away. We both just finished the Wind Temple. It's Core.
Hi.
Behind the board, twisting the knobs, making everything look cool. There's Cass over there. What?
I forgot. I don't know how mics work, but aside from that, we're doing great.
She is working the board.
Good to go, everybody. Always a pleasure.
Also kind of drinking. Anyway, we got a big weekend for upcoming next 2 weekends for cons after this one. At least A-Con and Fan Expo Dallas did not decide to go head-to-head this year.
That's good.
Because it would have hurt both of them overall. But we have arguably the two biggest. We got we got A-Con coming up first at the Urban Convention Center. And then Fan Expo, which we will be in attendance. I might go to A-Con for a day. You know, I might need to get some foam weaponry from a certain store there.
I can hook you up.
I at this point, I expect the hookup at Nighthawk Armories, which is always present at A-Con. Gotten some fantastic stuff from them. I think I need a round shield.
We have
for Alabroth.
We have many round shields.
Ooh.
We also have a giant hammer with a sun motif.
Olin, that was your free advertising.
It was.
But yes, check out Nighthawk Armory. They're one of our favorites. But of course, you know, there's toys and stuff there. So be quiet, dude. Sorry. But of course, next weekend, we got the weekend after that, we have Fan Expo, which we will be attending as press. Big guest list on that one. They're going hard this year.
I honestly haven't looked at it.
Oh, really?
Who's going to be there?
We got like people from The Office. We got a ton of voices. Tara Strong like makes it to every convention in the United States. I'm convinced. Like every single one. She's always there. She's at 2 at the same time. She's at 2 right now. But of course, like a bunch of vendors. I have to pull up the guest list is so massive.
I have it.
Oh my God.
Notable people: Hayden Christensen, Chevy Chase, John Bernthal.
Chevy Chase gets
right?
invited to
I know,
cons.
right?
More importantly, Rosario Dawson, John Bernthal, Vincent D'Onofrio, and Charlie Cox, all from Daredevil and The Punisher. We got some Office people. We got William Zabka and Ralph Macchio. We have Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes.
This is
so Jay
crazy.
and Silent Bob
Dang.
are coming. Who else? Randy Quaid is coming,
I don't understand that at all. Isn't he wanted?
He's a hardcore conspiracy theorist. He's like a Trumper. Like he's
Joseph Quinn's going to be
bonkers.
there. Yes.
Everybody, if
Christina
you see
Ricci? What?
Joseph Quinn, be very nice to him.
This is a hell of a guest list here.
Yeah. Oh, and the one, the only Danny Trejo.
Machete.
Exactly.
They should have him judge a taco contest.
You know, because of a certain trip that we might be taking, I actually thought for a second that one of his taco places was somewhere else, and I was like, "Ooh, I know it." No, they're only in LA. So, dang.
That's only like an hour and a half.
Yeah, I'm not going on that way
Ideally.
for taco.
Yeah.
Steve Burns from Blue's Clues is going to be there to make everybody feel better about themselves.
Yeah.
Because that's what. See, there you go. Jason Lee. Look at this list. We pretty much got everybody from National Lampoon, which I love. What? Christy Brinkley.
Not once, not any of them. No idea. Never seen
Who
any
are
of
the
them.
canceled? Oh, Sonequa Martin Green canceled.
Yeah, there's
Zachary
somebody-
Levy canceled. He should. Shazam was bad.
Patty Considine canceled, and I was kind of bummed about that.
I'm a little bummed that Henry Winkler canceled.
Yeah.
I've really liked watching Barry.
Oh, voice
He's
actors.
just iconic in everything he shows up
D.
in.
Bradley Baker, who does everything on Star Wars animated, will be there. Shamik Moore, who's Miles in the Spider-Verse movies. Ashley, we get Ashley and Rosario Dawson.
Yeah.
Nice.
We get
All the versions.
double Ahsokas. James Arnold Taylor, a bunch of My Hero Academia people. Wow, everyone from Spy Family. Awesome. And, of course, Charles Martinet, because he makes everything. Anyway, so, yeah, it's going to be huge. Going to make sure I save up my dollars for this one. Hopefully some of my favorite vendors will be there. Anyway, that's it. Yeah, Fan Expo, make sure you come out and say hi, be on one of our videos. We have no idea what we're doing. It's been a while since we went to a big con, so check it out. Anyway.
It has been a minute.
Seriously about the say hi thing, like if you know who we are if you're watching this. I would love if people came up and said hi.
Yeah.
Like-
Jason always gets these fun stories about people recognizing him, and I'm a little jealous.
Oh,
I like meeting people.
one of my favorite Batman
No, yeah.
cosplayers, Saddle Up, will be there, and hopefully I can debut my new cosplay there. Because I'm here to kill the Bat.
You-
I'll let you know later. Anyway, so that's enough talking and crap. Let's kick this thing off with some super cool nerd news. So I played. Oh, that one? Okay. So I played Destiny 2 like a lot. I mean, I'm taking a break now because of Legend of Zelda. And if you're familiar with the game, I play a hunter. Now, the Vanguard was voiced. One of the members of the Vanguard, voiced by Nathan Fillion, was Cade Six, who tragically a couple of years ago was killed. His character in the game was killed. Also, the voice acting was taken over for a little bit by that guy from Uncharted. Can't think of his name right now.
Nolan North.
Nolan North. I know, that was kind of bad. I was kind of making a joke there. Anyway, well, recently a video was released from Bungie for their next expansion in the Destiny 2 series. The video starts out with Ikora speaking to someone and talking about how they missed him. Well, the character revealed is none other than Cade Six, and Nathan Fillion has returned to voice the character. I mean, didn't the rookie end? So I guess he's got a little bit more time on his hands. Of course, you know, with James Gunn strictly going over to DC now, those kind of legacy roles are going to be unavailable to him. But it is good to hear him back as the iconic character Cade Six. Hunters, we get our Vanguard back. Yes, this story is more pandering just to me because I play a hunter in Destiny 2, and I couldn't be happier about this. But while Bungie was making that announcement, they did actually say, guys, we do make other games, and they showed their latest game, which is going to be called Marathon. A short teaser was released. This will be a PvP game. Players engaging one another as cybernetic mercenaries known as runners, exploring the lost colony on the planet of Tau Ceti 4 in search of riches, fame, and infamy, the studio writes on a PlayStation blog. The developer said it is not a direct sequel to the original games, but will have plenty of nods to the original universe because, yes, there was a 90s PC game. No one's going to remember this, but there were 3 of them. I know, right? It's called Marathon. Am I the only person in the room that knows about this game?
Yep.
Yep.
Really?
Yep. I was too busy playing Magic School Bus.
In the 90s? What was I playing in the 90s?
Yeah, so anyway, this was a PC game way back in the day. I took special interest in this because I was like, ooh, I played those games. And I was like, does anyone know about these? Okay, well, anyway.
Ken, you got your answer.
So, moving on. Sadly, this will not be any type of single-player game. It is strictly PvP. I don't know how that's going to work. I like games where I get the choice, but it is good to see another project coming from Bungie, considering their bread and butter has been Destiny for many, many years, but, you know, these are the guys that came up with Halo. So, hey, nothing announced. We did get just a short teaser trailer on the PlayStation event that happened today. So, yeah, new game coming from Bungie. But more importantly, Hunters, Cade Six is back. I know, I couldn't be happier. It was good to hear. Nathan Fillion's voice. Like, I know Nolan North tried his best to do that voice, but it didn't sound the same. But nothing against Nolan, good guy, but you're not Nathan Fillion. So
Yeah.
I missed that comedic timing because Cade was actually the funniest member of the Vanguard. I'm sorry, I'm just gushing more now. Anyway, anybody else got some gaming news they want to go into? Cora is not allowed to do her movie story. No. Move on. Don't talk about that
I do
story.
have a video game.
Good. Go for that. We're not talking about that other thing.
Well, we will later.
No.
Anyways. So, how many of y'all played Resident Evil 4 and thought that it just wasn't scary enough? It didn't give you enough of that thrill.
Yeah.
Cool. We got you. We have Resident Evil 4 Remake VR.
Oh my god, no.
Did you want to fight the chainsaw wielders face to face? Now you can. Sorry, that was the scariest thing to me when I played it originally, and I don't.
VR horror games freak me out, dude. Like,
I know.
so cool, so scary.
It's gonna be for PlayStation,
What?
as far as I am aware.
That story with that. So okay.
And, yeah, it's gonna be PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5 VR. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut.
No, it's your story, but like my mini story time, I was watching a horror trailer on a VR headset of my brother's, and he was like, yeah, watch this, and he had me watch it, and I was like, you go in this room, and you're like looking around and stuff, and you see a note, and you pick up the note, and it says, don't look behind you.
Oh God.
So, of course, you have to. So you turn to look behind you, but this was the most genius thing in the world. The little girl wasn't behind you, she was right here. So when you start to, and it scared the bejesus out of me. Like, I almost ripped the headset off and just like ran away. I was like,
I mean, I've not gotten into any VR games, but I love Resident Evil. Love the Resident Evil series. I don't know if I'm wanting to go that.
if you're brave enough, like, that's rough, man.
I mean, I'm gonna get scared, but you know, somebody might get clocked or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is like he's gonna play it in this room. He's gonna punch one of his shelves down.
Something is gonna get broken. There's gonna be something that's gonna jump scare me. But I'm all about it though.
I think it's, I don't know, like, I love it and I hate it, but actually kind of reminds me of when I first started loving horror movies, and you lose some of that, I hate it but I love it, and you still enjoy it, but it's not that as often.
I absolutely do not hate it.
This brings that feeling back of like, this genuinely upsets me in a good way.
No. Here is the good thing, because I was a little worried about this, because I'm like, do we really need to buy this game a third time at this point?
Yeah.
No, you don't. This is a free update if you already have Resident Evil 4.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
So it'll be a VR mode that you can enable.
Okay, we got.
Or not.
Or
right?
not, yeah, or not.
If you don't,
You must play it.
if you're too scared, that's okay,
You
right?
do not have to play the Resident Evil 4 remake VR mode.
Okay.
But if it's something that you want to do, it is there. It will be there as an option. We don't have a release date at this time because it was just announced yesterday.
They actually announced it's still in development, so.
Yeah, that's why we don't have a release
Yeah.
Oh,
date.
so it's
I
gonna be
mean,
fun.
counterpoint,
fine.
you do have to play it or they will come to your house.
Yeah. You'll hear the rev of a chainsaw.
Yeah.
The main thing I am ready for is the mechanic of the knife in that game, because, ooh boy, I'm cutting you from a. Shooting is one thing, but if you got that control of the, ooh.
You can do some nasty things with that knife.
I guess I gotta get a VR headset at some point.
Just so you can play it.
I'd have to move everything out to my living room so I can like have plenty of room. I ain't playing it in here. There's too much value. There's too many valuable toys up in here.
You're gonna get we need to get you one of those those little control center things. It's like the Bungie
To
thing
keep
that
me
keeps
from
you-
moving too far. Yeah.
Like, I made fun of those when I first saw them, and then I actually played with a VR headset. I'm like, oh no, this is just smart.
Yeah, all 250 pounds of me just stumbling around blind. Yeah, that's a great idea.
It's funny for the people watching.
But I'm all about this.
Yeah, I'm into it.
We got a lot of good stuff announced from PlayStation as well.
We did.
Like, we got some actual gameplay for the new Spider-Man,
Yeah, it looks
the
good.
Spider-Man 2 game, and some of the mechanics of how you're going to be switching from miles. Like, they're just going to be in different parts of the city, and you got to switch to different players. Also, we got to look at the black suit on Peter, so I'm so about the Spider-Man games. PlayStation is delivering for, I mean, it's the time to start talking about that stuff.
Yeah.
Because November's right around the corner. Anyway, but yes, Resident Evil 4 VR. Look at that shot.
It looks so good.
That is dope.
That's why when I saw the knife, I was like, ooh, stabby, stabby. Kat, you got anything for video games?
I actually, no.
How don't you have anything for video? You always have something game related.
Yeah, I have TTRPG stuff, but like,
That's gaming.
It is gaming.
That's gaming.
You said video games.
Okay, I'm sorry. Gaming. We're all inclusive here.
Okay, so there's a few new source books coming to D&D, and I'm going to start with the one I am most excited about. There is a collection containing 2 books and a pack of cards, the Deck of Many Things collection. In addition to the 22 original cards, they have added 44 more cards to the Deck of Many Things, and
Wow.
new monsters, new magic items, also being released in November. It's about 272 pages, all inclusive between the 2 books. I'm really excited about it. It also comes with an actual deck of the cards, with no descriptions or anything on the cards themselves. They're
Is
just
this a
like
story
an
or Cat's birthday list?
Yeah. I
Which
mean,
I fully expect this is.
a little column A.
A little bit of both.
I don't know. I'm just excited about it. Not so much like you guys are not about to get a Deck of Many Things, by the way. It's not something that's about to happen necessarily because they're so, but like it's a lot of inspirational type of hijinks that can happen even if you don't use the deck itself. And I'm not, never say never. I'm not saying you won't ever find one. I'm just saying like, I'm not about to spring one on you in the next session.
Yeah.
They scare me as a DM because they have like in-game consequences for players if they pull the wrong ones. But I think they're cool.
Do we have an announcement on those books? Not that I'm looking on any website right now. Don't look at my screen.
It's November.
Damn.
But yeah, that is one of several new packages they announced.
Ooh. Well, cool. So we got some more stuff that we can expect. Cass, you got anything for gaming this week?
Yeah, so
Keep it with
I
the theme.
respect that some people are excited about, Destiny or Resident Evil or whatever, but there's only one game trailer that came out yesterday that mattered, and it was for Ultros. This looks like if you took Hollow Knight and then did acid. It's a side-scroller game. It's super, super Metroid-y. From what I can tell, there's even a boss that you'll see a little bit later in the trailer who genuinely looks like a boss from Super Metroid. It's so pretty, it's so colorful, it's a side-scroller and a platformer, which I love. You can climb up walls, there's a sword, everything about this game makes me so happy. He's sleeping in his little pod. I cannot get over this. I didn't watch the showcase initially. Christian basically texted me and was like, hey, you're going to love this game, and showed me the trailer. I could not be... There we go. You'll see in a second. Just super, super, super Metroid-y and colorful. And this is all I care about, or all I'm going to care about for the next little bit. I am incredibly, incredibly excited.
What platforms is this coming out on?
Who knows? It was in the PlayStation showcase, so
Okay.
I think it might just be PlayStation, but I'm not
That
sure.
might be typical.
But also, Kat has a PlayStation, so I don't care what other places
I
it
gotta
comes
say,
out.
You have your ability to play it, that's all you care about.
If
like
I'm
the
good
look
that
of
week
it.
and Kat lets me use the PlayStation, then yes.
Metroid Dread was one of my favorite games from last year, and it was a side-scrolling game.
Super Metroid is one of my favorite games of all time.
Symphony of the Night is one of my absolute favorite.
Same.
Yeah, one of my favorite side-scrolling. There is still a market for these games. So
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
Hollow Knight did real well.
Hollow Knight did real well. Ori and the Blind...
Or in the Blind Forest.
Yeah, that was the second one. I can't remember what the first one was.
Oh.
But the 2 Ori games did pretty well. They're not super expensive to make, and
Little
they're
Nightmares.
super, super fun.
Oh, yeah, Little Nightmares,
Yeah.
too.
So, yes, I absolutely want to play this game a million times. Thank you very much.
I'm digging it.
Yeah.
I like it. It's pretty. It's kind of rude to say it's the only one that mattered, though, because there's like 4 trailers we're playing during the show.
I understand, and you're valid. It's okay. It's the only game that matters that we've talked about tonight.
It's the only thing I care about.
That's way ruder.
I mean, my sister's alright, I guess, but this game. No.
I'm gonna tell Stitch you said that.
Oh,
Wow.
that's so terrible.
Haxel
Alright.
won't care.
Haxel really wouldn't care if I died in a ditch, so those are our cats.
Cool. Well, I'm going to keep it going with some more gaming news because along with all these PlayStation 5 announcements, we got one of the biggest announcements from PlayStation is they are going back into portable gaming. Now, the PSP was a very successful console back in the day. I had one, really helped me out through deployments, and I've always thought it was something that PlayStation really needed to revisit, especially with the Nintendo Switch being as popular as it is, but PlayStation always kind of had like a little bit more oomph behind it. I wouldn't say that's the truth now because, man, I'm loving my Switch. Well, they did announce they are moving into something called Project Q, which is going to be handheld gaming using an 8-inch 1080p LCD screen. It is going to allow you to stream your PS5 games over Wi-Fi. I don't know exactly how that's going to work because I don't want to be on I am not always able to be on Wi-Fi. I would like to see some cross-compatibility with my current PlayStation account and this device. Really, you're going to have to make these games downloadable. But that's where the problem is going to come in, because if you've downloaded any games recently from PlayStation, and I have a digital PS5, and had to expand my memory, this is going to be difficult. I don't think I'll be playing God of War Ragnarok off Wi-Fi, just considering the sheer size and scope of that game, or especially anything maybe PvP related. Mind you, more details are coming for this, but if you can only play this over Wi-Fi streaming, I'm going to go ahead and say no, absolutely not. You will not restrict, I can play my PlayStation at home. However, I will say it does look like a pretty cool device. It looks just like a PlayStation controller. It's one thing that I don't like with my Switch. I don't have that place to put like my fingers. Everything just kind of rests on top of it. But it's a small complaint. This does seem to offer that comfort, that familiarity. But I'm going to go ahead and just say this is a no-go if you're going to restrict me just to Wi-Fi. Fix that whole downloadable game portion, or, I mean, look, I can get a couple of terabytes on a micro SD these days. Make it happen, guys.
It's a little naive to be like, oh yeah, people are going to want to play the same console just in another room. Like, I don't...
Yeah, it's something that, well, my son wanted to play some games on Steam, but he's got a Chromebook. Well, to play Chromebook games on Steam, well, to play your Steam games on Chromebook, you have to have a computer going with Steam going on it. And I was like, what is this crap? Absolutely not. We spent 3 minutes on that and said, no, this ain't happening. Don't leash me. Don't tell me it's portable, but then leash me to anything.
Yeah, then it's not portable.
Exactly. So you won't be like taking Switch out of the running right now for top selling consoles right now, but work on this. They also showed off they're going to make some earbuds. I don't want earbuds when I play games. No. They're like lossless earbuds. I don't care. I don't care about that. Some
But
people
if
will.
you're gonna play out in public,
There's other means I can. I don't need Sony branded earbuds.
oh, okay. Yeah.
They better be Bluetooth. They better connect to the
Yeah.
ones I already have.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to announce something like a partnership or something with some sort of mobile hotspot or something like that. I don't know.
I mean, the device looks cool. 8-inch LCD screen. Hey, you had me until this Wi-Fi thing.
I do like the idea of like coming soon. You can bring your mobile. What did they say? Q, PlayStation Q. Was
It's
the
a
name
Project Q. They haven't
Project
released an
Q.
official name.
Bring your PlayStation Mobile. Bring your other PlayStation. Bring your mobile hotspot to the middle of a warehouse, and then you can play mobile.
Mhm. Yeah.
I was thinking like something that would like plug in
Yeah.
like very directly and just be up, something that you could take your account, like wouldn't be a committed account. You could pay as you go kind of thing.
It just seemed with the
Something like that.
standard already out on the market, you kind of missed the mark. You were almost there. Because that's the beauty of having a Switch. I can just take it out of my dock. I can continue playing the same game I was playing seamlessly. I can move to another area. I can go across the street or ride the bus, whatever the hell I'm going to do. You missed the mark.
I don't think they're stupid enough for this to be the end game. I just don't.
I don't know if this is going to have the power needed, but we'll see. This is just an announcement. We don't know yet. Maybe enough people are going to say, that ain't going to work for me, dog, and they fix it. But we'll see. Are we done with gaming, or does anybody else have anything? I'm skipping core. Kat, why don't you tell us what you got next?
I have got next. Cora's next.
No,
story.
God.
Alright, so I have something tangentially related to gaming.
Stop. Don't do this.
Back in the early 2000s, there was a singular horror game that, like, changed the way horror games were viewed and just changed the game completely. And if you think I'm talking about anything other than Five Nights at Freddy's, you are incorrect. I am talking about Five Nights at Freddy's. And that is because we finally have a little teaser trailer for the movie coming out this October. It's not a long trailer, it's very short, but in this trailer we get a lot of information just thrown at us. The animatronics, I just want to say first off, look fantastic. They look straight ripped out of the game. Not that I thought the Creature Shop from Jim Henson would do anything other than some stellar work. I think they move slightly too fluidly, but then again, this is a teaser trailer. We don't see them move too much. We may just have caught some fluid motion.
Was that Josh Hutcherson?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Josh Hutcherson is going to be playing our security guard, so he will be our hero. And I cannot remember his name, but he played Shaggy in live action. Matthew Willard?
Matthew Lillard?
Matthew Willard will be our William Afton, which is our child murderer. Yay!
Love that. Love that for him. It's what he deserves.
It's what he deserves.
Love Matthew Lillard.
Now, in this trailer, we get the ball pit. We had some monsters in the ball pit in some of the other games. We saw the 5 children. Each of them were wearing a colored t-shirt that corresponds with the animatronics. So we have the children that host in the animatronics. We got the Springtrap suit. We got a lot of things. Like, this is definitely a love letter to the fans. It looks horrifying. The singular shot of Hutcherson standing there with Freddy, like, behind him is, like...
That is a perfect jump scare moment. I hate this so much. Is it just, why do kids, like, just... I'm surprised at the age of some children who are fans of the Five Nights at Freddy's series, because this is the only game, like, in a long time that made me yell out loud on a jump scare portion.
That's something I've been contemplating for a while, because we've seen it with Five Nights at Freddy's, and we've also started to see it more with Poppy's Playtime, like things that are like cute and kid friendly.
Your kids are gonna be fucked up, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway.
But for a lot of them, like, they see the toys and they just want the toys, or they see like the imagery and they like the imagery,
Ignoring the whole murder aspect of it.
ignoring the whole fact that this is a horror game. And I'll be honest, Security Breach didn't really help with that. Security Breach wasn't that scary of a game in comparison to literally the other games.
Mm-hmm.
It had jump scare moments and it had tense moments, but it didn't feel like a horror game. It was too bright, too colorful, and it wasn't scary. Well, except for the daycare, I didn't like that.
You know what? I actually have kind of a different take on it. As somebody who is coulrophobic, I don't like clowns. In real life, like, there's something... It feels like this could be the earliest stage of the cathartic feeling of the thing that you find scary being depicted as scary. Animatronics have always deeply freaked me out. So, like, there's something weird about saying, like, clowns or being, like, Chuck E. Cheese or whatever, and everybody's like, oh,
Yeah.
look at the cute thing. And I'm
That's
like, how can you not understand the dread building up in here? So to see them depicted that way, I'm like, yes, thank you.
And for me, it's like, I went to Showbiz Pizza and Chuck E. Cheese, and I love the animatronic band playing things up on stage, and I just never thought in a million years they'd try to murder me.
Every time.
I think there might also be a thing with, and I don't want to super point this out, except I do. By the time Kat and I got to Chuck E. Cheese, they were old and running
They're starting to
down
creak.
they're starting to creak. And so by the time we got
eyes are a
there,
little bit lazy now.
it was scary because of age, and that might have something to do with it. That they were already kind of breaking
They're
down,
starting to
and
leak
like all of a
hydraulic
sudden,
fluid. It just looks
and
like
they would
blood.
all of a sudden like jerk really quickly, and you're like, ah.
I think they're going to put that.
they
That speaks
have
to
to.
your smooth motion point.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be like, kind of like, oh, they're just doing the thing, and there's going to be a point
where they
they escalate the tension with them starting to move like
yeah.
that.
Either way,
It's my
I'm
guess.
going and I'm taking the kids.
how it was presented, because like I watched a couple of videos too, like that broke them down more, because as much as I enjoy Five Nights at Freddy's, I don't have all the lore because I refuse to watch all of those games. I don't have the anxiety level to watch these appropriately. And one of the things they mentioned is it looks like the the pizzeria is shut down when Hutcherson gets hired, and he's there to basically be the security guard of this old rundown pizzeria. So when he turns it on, that's when the animatronics turn on. So the smooth motion is probably like when they were first built and they were, working properly, and then we're going to get these jumpy kind of withered animatronics in the actual pizzeria.
The turn.
Some people have had like complaints about the red eyes, and that is a weird choice, but I don't really
It's for the non-norms.
It's for the
it's for the normals, I mean.
Yeah, it's for the normies, and it's not that bad, honestly. I like it.
I think that could indicate something too. I think that could be another part of it where like, oh, this is the one that's fine. Oh.
That is actually something they've played with in other games where if they're being controlled by Afton directly, they have red eyes. So.
This is interesting. So this is a Halloween movie.
Yes.
But it is scheduled to be released simultaneously on Peacock and in theaters?
Interesting.
Huh.
Disney's done that a couple of times recently.
Yeah, but that was more of a pandemic choice as well.
But also, how many people here have Peacock? Out of the 5 of us here, 4 of us, I can't count. There's 4 of us in this room. How many of us have Peacock?
I did the trial thing for the Night Court show, and it stopped being good, so I stopped watching.
There you go. That's not really going to hurt their profit margin in the long run, I don't think.
I want to see this in theaters anyway.
Oh,
so.
absolutely. I want to be surrounded by a bunch of just, they're more grown adults now, but the kids that grew up with, like, Freddy as their comfort character, I want to be surrounded by them.
These creepy children.
I want to see the normal people being confused why everyone is freaking out when they hear dun, 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 dun. I want to see it. I'm excited about it.
I'm going to just say it was completely unnecessary for you to do that song here. You didn't need to do that. I don't know why you chose to, but I hate you for doing it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Jerk.
John Oliver did a whole special on the history of Chuck E. Cheese a
yeah.
couple months ago. It was like good 40-minute, like just on the internet show. It's pretty great.
October 27th. Damn them.
We'll see y'all.
I'm not watching this at all. I'm going to the theater. So.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks for choosing her to talk about this horrid movie.
I just like
This
to
person.
subvert you.
It better be good, too. What you got anyway, buddy?
I have more D&D stuff.
Go right ahead.
There is, hang on, let me get to my notes. Another one of the new books is going to be Planescape Adventures in the Multiverse, a collection of 3 books for Sigil in the Outlands. I think this is the first time they've really explored the Outlands. It's got Mort's Planar Parade. It's characters and creatures from the Outlands. It's Turn of Fortune's Wheel, which is, I think, an adventure. Blah, blah, blah. There's another one that's not in here. I don't know. Oh, Sigil in the Outlands is the meat and potatoes, new rules, and player options. So I'm guessing some subclasses and stuff. I'm pretty excited about new content, like dumping in this area. I don't think we have a release date. No. No, we don't know anything else so far, but it should be fun. I'm not as excited about that, but I always like new items, new stuff, new
Yeah.
spells. Hopefully nothing as game breaking as Silvery Barbs, but some other stuff. That's really
short
it. It's
story.
just a tiny blurb about it because we don't know very much yet.
Oh, cool. So I was looking at people that were going to ACOM, but Cass, ready to change it up for us?
Yes. So mine is a little bit of a sad story. So within the next week, 3 shows are going to end. Those shows are Ted Lasso, Succession, and Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. And these are kind of iconic, almost an era of television that's ending within the next week. Ted Lasso released right at the beginning of the pandemic when we all needed some hope. Succession has provided some of the biggest plot twists I've seen on television in a long time. And Marvelous Mrs. Maisel is a really refreshing, really, really, really different show. And I kind of wanted to commemorate the passing of this era of television, but also wanted to, if these shows are leaving a hole in your life, kind of wanted to do my best, and Kat is joining me a little bit, to give you something that might fill that hole a little bit.
Gross.
For Ted Lasso, the show that I'm going to recommend, I don't have a picture for it, is Shrinking. It is on Apple TV, so it's the same place that you find Ted Lasso. It is by the same creator as Ted Lasso, 2 of the 3. So Brett Goldstein, who plays Roy Kent in Ted Lasso, Bill Lawrence, who also created Scrubs, and then Jason Sudeikis made Ted Lasso, swap him out for Jason Segel. Shrinking. It's a therapist whose wife has recently passed away, and he's kind of trying to put his life back together. It has that wholesomeness that you absolutely love. It has a lot of comedy with a couple of things that make you want to cry. Just a really, 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 really good show that I would absolutely recommend. Again, it's on Apple TV.
Shrinking is about him being a therapist and is not, as I originally assumed, something to do with his junk because he was in Forgetting Sarah Marshall and he went full all the way out there. And so when I first saw the title, immediate thought was, okay.
Yeah, broken up with by Sarah Marshall while he's naked in that movie, based on a true story that happened to Jason Segel. He thought that his girlfriend was coming home for sex, and she was coming home to break up with him. Oh. Absolutely amazing scene, and he has not lost a beat. He is still as funny as ever. He's still as weirdly heartfelt as he ever was. If you loved Marshall from How I Met Your Mother, he hasn't lost a step.
He has a
He's
maturity
really, really good.
that looks good on him.
He does. Did you want to talk about the Succession pieces that might help?
Oh, I didn't put that together. I was just trying to inspire you.
Just talked about it?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what they are?
You
can do it.
Talked about. Okay. Hold on.
Sorry, I was trying to
okay.
help you, but I wasn't thinking I would do that.
Hold on. So, there's a couple, and they're wildly different shows, but they share some similarities. If you liked the weird family dynamics of Succession, I cannot recommend Arrested Development enough. If Succession is a black comedy, Arrested Development is a farce. So it is slapstick, it is real dumb, it is full of puns, but it has that weird family dynamic of nobody knowing what they're doing, but all kind of grasping for power in a really weird way.
You have to give it a couple episodes.
You do have to give it a couple episodes. I watched the pilot, I think, 3 times before I got into it.
Yeah.
If you like the weird, over-the-top twists and turns, I would recommend either Justified or Sneaky Pete. Justified was originally FX. I think it's on Hulu now. Sneaky Pete was an Amazon Prime original. They both have the characters are taking this very seriously, but the plot is extremely dumb. And if you like just the overall aesthetic of Succession, I would recommend actually The Newsroom, written by Aaron Sorkin. It's on HBO. It's a fantastic show. It's way too hopeful to be like Succession, but it's a really good show. The only thing that I don't have is a recommendation for Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. This is it's a unique show. It's so amazing, but it's very unique. I know that the creator is moving on to another project that does star the guy that played Lenny Bruce, but I don't really have a lot of other information. But those are just, if you are missing out on these shows because they're ending, those are some recommendations.
I mean, honestly, I think you can recommend Marvelous Mrs. Maisel is a criminally underwatched show. I think the likelihood
Guilty.
is that anybody who sees us talking about this will not have seen it.
Yeah.
So in place of a different recommendation, like the advertising for it was just all
garbage.
off.
Not as bad as Santa Clarita Diet.
No. But like it's heartfelt. It's about it's very female empowerment driven, but it's also not just like about that. Like she's a comedian in the 50s. So yeah, like she falls into areas that like we wouldn't be as likely to put women in the boxes that she puts even herself in a lot of the times with her comedy, but it is done in such an incredibly modern way. It's just a lot of fun to watch. It's just fun to watch until the season finales of each season.
Which are always a bummer.
Yeah.
Also, the only thing that I can think of Marvelous Miss Maisel is if you like the aesthetic alone and literally nothing else about the show, then watch Mad Men. Because it's the 1950s and it's the same aesthetic.
Watch
Other than
what?
that, Mad Men.
Mad Men.
I thought you said Batman.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Watch Batman.
She clearly
you know.
wasn't talking about that.
The aesthetic.
New York City, Gotham, basically the same place.
If you watched Mad Men, but you wished they would like saturate all their colors, then watch Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Exactly. And that's my big pitch.
All right, I'm going to hate doing this story, but I don't have a lot. It was kind of a slow news week, but
Well, Newsweek.
it really was. So it is no secret. I am a big fan of Super Sentai. I love Kamen Rider, Super Sentai. Bring me all the toy series. Well, of course, it is the springtime, and that means it's time for an all-new Kamen Rider. Currently, our Kamen Rider is Kamen Rider Geats, but something was leaked to show what the next Kamen Rider series was going to be. We did get a name directly from the patent office, and it's called Kamen Rider Gotchard.
Catchers.
There are a lot of ways that you can look at this and say it. And it's not really much of a news story, except all of us in the Kamen Rider fandom are just like, Gotchard. We've all turned into Beavis and Butthead, apparently. I'm not sure what this word translates into or why it was chosen, but this is what we're getting. Damn. It is typical for Kamen Rider series to be named something like Build. Like, it's clearly an American name. We're not going with the Japanese translation. So I'm a little bit confused on Gotchard. This will be the 34th series of Kamen Rider, the 5th series in the Reiwa era, of course. That's all we have on it, but I really want to hear them say this on the show now. I am literally chomping at the bit to hear how this is going to be pronounced on a show by Japanese people.
They don't
Gotchard.
have. Do they have the ch noise in Japanese? They don't, do they?
I really need to hear how this is going to be pronounced. Because I don't understand what this is from besides my own delight and amusement. This trademark was filed on the 22nd of May, and that's literally all that we know. No starring, no nothing. I will be watching this one intently to figure more about this series. Gotchard. That's it. That is our go ahead.
I don't think they. I could be wrong. I don't think they have the CH, which would make it got hard.
Well,
I'm
Close
trying
to.
Okay, so this is the thing that I've been
So-
It
trying
wouldn't
to
be the R
avoid.
sound per se.
yeah, so to throw myself under the bus a little, they do have the CH because there is a part in Naruto called the Chunin.
Okay,
exams.
good.
So they do.
No,
have-
happy to be corrected
Yeah.
if that's...
It's just I'm upset that that's why I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I need clarification. Of course, it's a Kamen Rider series. I'll be watching it. I need to know what the gimmick is. I need to know why this was chosen.
I can also see it being a pun. They just intend, or not pun, but
No,
like
they wouldn't. They wouldn't.
leaning
I
into
mean,
it.
Kamen Rider's corny enough as it is. As I say that as a fan. So yeah, that is my very short story.
Also, it's just this happens in language, though.
It
the
does.
word for it's like you are in Korean is what NEGA would spell out in American.
But I'll be watching for more information.
that I will
We'll
not say.
see. That's all I had because this has been bothering me ever since since I first read it and went, wait a minute, let me translate that. Okay, sure. So we'll see. I'll be watching. Corey, got anything else you need to horrify us with this week? You did Resident Evil. You did Five Nights at Freddy's.
Fast
Oh
and
my
Freddy's.
god! Yeah, I'm sorry. I saw that Fast and Furious has made like so much money, and I literally raged.
No, I mean I have something, but it doesn't. It's not horrifying in a traditional sense.
Oh my god! It really. Oh no!
So-
This is
Yeah. Okay. So, have I explained what isekai is on this show?
many
Do
times.
I need to re-explain?
I think a
Absolutely.
short definition would be.
Okay, so basically,
beneficial.
isekai is when someone is taken from one world and shoved into another. Think things like Inuyasha, Fushigi Yugi, Dot Hack, Sword Art Online. Like, think stop looking.
Who shall not be named.
Yeah. So a modern trend is someone gets hit by a truck, or someone like falls off a cliff, or someone dies. Like they die in a weird way, and then they get reincarnated into a fantasy world, and that's like the common trend now in isekai, and so that has brought us to where we are today, with a show coming out based on a light novel called, I kid you not, Reborn as a Vending Machine, I Now Wander the Dungeon.
I have so many questions.
Here's a lovely
Thank you
picture.
for joining us on SCNS Live tonight.
Here's a lovely picture.
Yeah. So we have our main dude. His do we even know his name? No.
Doesn't matter.
Our protagonist gets crushed to death by a vending machine and is reincarnated as a sentient vending machine in a fantasy dungeon world.
This makes no sense.
Shortly after, he meets and befriends Lamis, a young female hunter who names him Boxo and starts carrying him around on her back. And the two start their adventures in the dungeon together. Like, I give them props.
Shit is wild.
I give them props for the creativeness. That is very creative. It's very different. It's very real. Very different. Why?
Why are there vending machines in
Why?
the dungeon?
And why is someone carrying it around?
Yeah.
Why the vending machine? And that, like, I don't know if it's like in the novel or not, but the vending machine on the little picture is like the big animu eyes, and I'm like, I can't do this.
I mean-
Japan. What?
To be fair, in Japan there are vending machines literally everywhere.
Oh yeah.
And if any of them started talking to me, I would freak out.
Yeah, that's not the weird part about this. A bunch of vending machines that give me delicious treats and other weird things is not weird, but yes, it has eyes.
I mean, that was just the rationalization for
Yeah.
why it would be in the dungeon specifically, is because
Yeah.
they're everywhere. They're everywhere. Why wouldn't they
That's fine. I'm surprisingly, I'm not questioning why the vending machine is in a fantasy dungeon. Because one, it's a fantasy world, and two, vending machines are fun, and that's a great gag. Our concern is with it being sentient.
be? Sure.
Did you close it on the eye?
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out what kind of drinks they have, and it looks like kind of energy drink. Brand
I
name juice.
zoomed it in for you.
Thank you.
Just right on the eyeballs.
Cat, all the vending machines in Japan gain sentience.
There's
There's your next horror
Does they
movie
have
right
vending
there.
machines of like weird stuff too?
Yeah, I was
Yes,
thinking
we're gonna
those
talk
like
about that.
women's underwear
Yeah.
vending machines are gonna
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway,
creep some people out.
Yeah.
but all the vending machines gain sentience.
Like,
And of course, they'll become evil because people. So.
And, like, this is why I have issues with how isekai is handled nowadays. Because, like, I remember back in the day we had things like Fushigi Yugi and Inuyasha, where it was just we go to a fantasy world and they're very different fantasy worlds, mostly because these are ancient Japan and ancient China.
Fun fact, I never knew what isekai was until Cora explained it to me.
You see the concept creeping into like American stuff. Like
Yeah.
look at Super Mario, which is granted Japanese.
Super Mario movies and isekai, which I'm okay with. That's a fun movie.
Wait. Do they have to get hit?
No, they don't have to.
They just have to go
Oh,
to
they
a
just gotta
different
get
world?
there.
They just have to go to another world.
I mean,
You don't go here.
the new Barbie movie.
The new Barbie movie could technically be an isekai. Yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
what?
That's the whole point of the Barbie
the whole
movie.
thing
She goes to the real world.
Yeah,
Yeah, she leaves Barbie
Enchanted.
Land.
It's very enchanted, yeah.
Oh, okay. I still haven't seen any trailers for that.
It's gonna slap
As this
super
one is
hard.
my choice.
Did you see Matt Damon
No.
have to come out and be like, "Hey guys, I know that there's a lot of discourse over like who, if you're gonna go see Oppenheimer or Barbie, because they come out the same weekend." He's like, "You can go see more than one movie in a weekend."
Well, the whole point is to
Like,
go watch
calm down.
Oppenheimer, need a palate cleanser, and walk into Barbie.
Yeah.
It's good to know what mindset you'll be in when we walk
For
into
we
me,
watch
it'll
Barbie?
For me, what's this we shit? For me, it'll be reversed. I'll need to go watch Oppenheimer after watching
Well,
Barbie.
that means you can go watch the Barbie movie with us, and then you can go watch Oppenheimer.
You're going to.
I'm happy to do a double feature. I'm really excited about both.
When do they come out anyway?
I don't know. It's the same way. I think it's September.
Is it September? Jeez. That's too far. I ain't gonna worry about it. I got plans. I mean,
But yeah,
Oh no, July 21st.
so if
We
y'all-
will be busy.
If y'all would like
maybe.
to get back on topic, if y'all would like a good recommendation for a isekai that is funny and a parody of the isekai genre, I recommend Kyo Caramel, where a student goes to another world by getting flushed down the toilet.
What?
He gets a swirly and wakes up in a fantasy world with a skeleton.
Okay.
It's very funny.
All drains
No,
lead to
no,
the
it's-
ocean.
No, look, it's funny, I promise. It turns out it's any body of water can take him there, but he finds out by getting a swirly because he's a nerd.
Did you have
Why?
one more?
No.
Okay,
No,
Cass.
no, this is where we're ending, I think. Because I
Okay,
don't
then.
have any more. I know I don't think Cora does either.
Okay then. No,
Are we
see,
ending on getting a swirly and going to a different world?
Were you to be the Demon King?
While we were talking though, I did look up some stuff. I've officially changed my mind on Akon. I wasn't excited for it, but there is one person that I am excited. For one, we've done some good interviews at another con, Anime Fest, but Rico Fajardo is going to be there, who is a great interview and a lovely person. But Helen McCarthy, who is an older voice actress in the business, and also just the sweetest person you ever want to meet. We had such a lovely interview with her.
And if you've been enjoying the fact that you can watch anime and
Yeah.
everything, you have her to thank. She was one of the people that advocated to bring anime not just to Europe but to the United States.
So if you want to see an interesting video, we do have one on our channel with Helen McCarthy talking about her influence on the anime industry. Seriously, this woman needs her flowers, and her praises need to be sung. And also, she's just so nice.
If you're going to Akon, be sure to just at least go by her booth, tell her hi, tell her thanks, give her good things. Be nice to her. She deserves it.
I am literally going specifically just to go to her booth and say, thank you, here's a nice bunch of flowers or something. I don't know. So I'm doing something nice for Helen McCarthy because she is not only a talented voice actress, but also a pioneer of bringing anime to the United States. Go say what's up to her. Anyway, so big weekends coming up, but we do have some stuff coming up this weekend. We're going to be playing some DnD, but the big announcement is we are returning to Twitch. Yes, games will still be on the YouTube channel, but they will be on 24 hours afterwards and in an edited format. So it'll be the same stuff. We're just going to drop all the the other crap that we do. But we are returning to Twitch just because we think it's a better platform for interaction with people that are watching. So yeah, twitch.tv/SCNS Live. Join us there. But yeah, that's the big announcement. We are getting back to playing some D&D, which is going to be great.
I'm excited about this arc. It's going to be so much fun.
Other than that, I don't have anything else. We already talked about Fan Expo and A-Con coming up. We'll be out at those. Big announcements are coming up for the channel, but we're not doing that until we're completely and utterly set in stone on what's happening. But
you guys, we've been hurt before.
But hopefully times are changing and those announcements will be coming soon. But anyway, thank you guys for joining us out there in Super Cool Nerd Nation. Please like this video and of course subscribe. If you want to follow us, you can follow us at SCNS Live on all the social media platforms, but also go visit us at supercoolnerdshow.com. You can also go scnslive.com. But if you want to follow us personally, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at JasonTheX.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at BetterCat.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at CorodonoArt.
The same at the Good Cast.
Anyway, that's it. We'll see you next Thursday. Until then, guys, keep on nerding.